Hi, this is Amy Lewis with PopUpTechTalks. I'm here with Ben. Ben, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Ben Qual. I work for Microsoft in our Cloud Enterprise team in the office of the CTO.
So, we've known each other for a lot of years. I think it was 2011 we were on camera together the first time.
It was, and I think it's my second time ever with my clothes on camera.
I have no comment about that. It's an open community, but not that open. So, it's your first Dockercon. What is your response to the energy and what's going on here?
I think it's amazing. It really takes me back to what we used to see in VMworld, something maybe back in 2010, 2009, when it's all emerging, about to really just take off. Right now, it's having that kind of feeling as well, where I haven't seen that for a long time. There's a lot of conferences I've been to, and I won't go to many sessions. Don't tell my boss. Because I end up finding a lot of value in just walking around floors and talking to people and seeing what they're doing, what they're working on. A lot of the sessions I feel pretty comfortable with the content being across it. Here, I want to go into all these sessions. There's so much good content. I keep going, well, I'm really glad they're doing a replay day on Thursday of the top sessions, because anything I miss, I'm going to go back into. It's really, really cool to see. And the actual diversity of the people we have here is awesome. I mean, the different ISVs that are popping up, startups, people trying to carve out a niche in the new world. And also the actual amount of diversity in the people we see too. That's really one of the coolest things I've seen at a tech conference, where we're starting to get, we're nowhere near it really in parity, but we're starting to get a lot more female engineers out here on the floors actually working and doing that. And I'm very, very happy to see that. I love it. I love being shown up on the Microsoft booth by some of our devs.
Excellent. So, again, it's been a lot of years. So, 2011, here we are now. What are some of the trends you're seeing? What things have surprised you? Where do you think we're going as a technologist? What has been the thing that surprised you the most?
I think I don't think you can say there's any one thing which surprises you. It changes all the time. I mean, some of our own announcements surprise the hell out of people. I mean, the fact I'm working for Microsoft wearing a t-shirt talking about open source. Go back to Steve Ballmer days when Linux is a cancer. We have to cut it out. He smashed an iPhone once on stage. And here we are, and we just announced today that we're doing Linux containers on top of Windows Server. We've got SQL running on Linux now. We've got PowerShell open sourced and Bash on Windows. It's an awesome world to see. Some of that stuff internally has surprised me more than what we see here. I love the way we're seeing this space, and some of the people in maturity kind of taking it to a different space. A lot of people looked at containers and go, hey, it's just for the devs. It's just for the devs. And now we're seeing people go and run whole database systems where we've done a whole lot of things. We're seeing customers go, well, I have my legacy .NET, my legacy Java apps. I can pick them up and Dockerize them, whack them in my containers, and run them anywhere. I can take away a lot of that legacy that we used to see around hardware, and then we looked at virtual machines, and now we're seeing it around our apps. It's really making it powerful in terms of what we're going to see. And I think it's really exciting what we're going to see next. I mean, right now we're at containers. What about boxes, pallets? It's going to be really cool.
Like a Russian doll.
Like a Russian. It's just going to keep opening and opening and opening until we get to the bubble wrap, and then we're just going to play with it.
So I think my observation is I think we're more customer-led than ever before, because you were talking about how times have changed. What would you say to that approach? Yeah,
look, I agree. I mean, it's more evident now. I mean, look, you look at someone like us or some of our competitors out there who are doing great work as well. Back 6-7 years ago, you might go out and sell a customer a FlexPod. Looking back, what you've been talking about that for a long time, for example, and that'd be great. But if they didn't have a valid use for it, anything else, they'd be stuck with it. They'd be sitting there using it maybe for the next 3 years, trying to do it. And they may not ever call you back. When you talk about cloud, if a customer's getting there and they're not getting success and value out of what they're doing, they're just going to turn it off next month. So it is so much more customer-centric, and some of the biggest innovations we're seeing spoken about now aren't what people in engineering teams are coming up with at Microsoft or Amazon or Google or Docker. It's quite often how customers are applying it. And some of this is quite amazing. I mean, I've seen customers go out and totally change what they're doing for their business. Take a kind of a boring thing like where do we store our records of a call center, call recordings. Taking that kind of theory, going, we have to store information, we have to look at data, and taking that all the way to going, well, instead of just storing that information, how can we make it valuable? Starting to run machine learning, ML against it, looking for sentiment analysis, not just voice to text, taking it way further and actually going through a sentiment and going, what are people feeling? What are our customers' feelings? What's the actual general feeling? And even bring that back up so the next time they call you up, go, hey, I knew you really, you said, yes, that's fine, but really you meant, yes, that's fine. You weren't happy, so we can have that conversation. It's really interesting to see what they're building and the ability they have to do that now. We don't come up with a lot of this. It is the customers, definitely customer-centric.
I love it. So storing is boring. It's all about what you do with the data.
Always has been, right?
True that. Thank you so much, Ben.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, one of the most interesting things with Dockercon too, my colleague Caroline was meant to be here and I sort of took her place and I had a bunch of customer meetings. I got a hotel booking offer. Turns out, if you haven't met Caroline, the beds are only about 5 foot long. Such a shame.
Thank you so much, Ben.
Thank you. Been a pleasure.
And we'll see you next time on Pop Up Tech Talks.